I wouldn't be able to sleep at night with all the that was going on in the background.
Yep. You
The
surprisingly get used to it.
the frogs are pleasant around here, though. There was that bird this morning.
Yeah, for a bit.
Wee, tweet, 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 tweet.
But no, I don't know. From my perspective, it's one of those where it's like an MMO has to just have its entire backlog of content easily available for me to play. And that's what originally drew me to Warframe, was that they had like maybe some seasonal content, but it was mostly just like, all right, here's the whole thing. And so then adding proper seasons was just like, that was the new core gameplay loop. And I wanted nothing to do with it. Because it wasn't that you had like X number of objectives or it's just like play during the season, which is what Destiny has. It was like, do this thing this week, this thing this day. Effectively giving you a schedule that you had to do every day. And I just couldn't do that anymore.
The Destiny chapters that you were talking about reminds me of the Living World for Guild Wars, and the first Living World was an exclusive event.
That one was... That one, I wish they would, like, redo or just, like, kind of recreate the story as, like, a just two-mission thing.
Yeah, for those of you that hadn't played it, for the first Living World, which is what they do is, like, sort of an extension. Oh, look!
Dead, no pun. We should probably stop talking too much about MMOs.
Sorry. Zazadan!
Zazadan can't stand anymore. So hungry, Tommy rumbling, so thirsty as well.
Sounds like you've got a problem.
Wait, it's too soft.
It's just the usual friend stuff.
Oh, who are you? Why are you here? What do you want with Zazadan? Monsters attacked Zazadan near a glowing obelisk. Zazadan escaped, but get hurt and no can move anymore. Now Zazadan no can find food. Zazadan not eaten for days. Can you help Zazadan, please?
Are you sure you're all right? You look in a bad way.
At first Zazadan sleep to keep hungry feeling away, but now too difficult to sleep.
Why were you attacked? Wouldn't the monsters stay away from the glowing obelisk? Anyway, now's not the time to think of such things.
Right, Zazadan wants you to bring things to eat and drink.
Lemon sodas and flammy eggs.
Zazadan no can speak anymore. Please save Zazadan.
No problem. Leave it to me.
What are all those... What's all that red stuff that was next to him?
You know, I honestly have no idea.
And your response is to turn the opposite direction.
I mean, we'll come back to him at some point.
What I was going to say is that first event was... There were a couple of chapters, but it was an exclusive event. You had to be there in order to play it for, you know, the week that it was available or something. And there were a lot of
that sort of
events.
thing is cool, but it ultimately is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work that people in the future will never be able to benefit from.
Yeah, that never pays dividends. I would actually describe it as the difference between like Twitch and YouTube. That like a Twitch stream, we have 190 something people watching us right now, and that's cool and whatnot. But if I wasn't posting this on YouTube, in a couple of months, no one would ever be able to watch this again.
Right, because streams only last so long in Twitch, and there isn't a permanent archive for it, which is why everything we ultimately put to YouTube.
Yep. And I think for certain channels that absolutely can work and be totally fine. But from my perspective, it's like, I'm going through all this effort, just put a little bit more in, and then anybody can watch it years from now if they wanted to. And some people honestly do.
Yeah, and so with Guild Wars 2, they did make all the living story content chapter-based. And now you can, so long as you gain access to it, you can play them over again. And as many times as you want, too. And on different characters. Though they do have it locked so that you have to log in for the, first week or so or month it's available.
Yeah, but even then, like, you can
Otherwise
still
you have to buy it
later, which isn't terrible. I just want content to be available at a later date. And if it's not, I might as well just go play a single-player game.
Yep, because it won't disappear on you.
The upper regions are through that entrance. You gotta go through Magna Forest first. Prison Island is at the Bionis head, just above Magna Forest.
It pains me to say it, but this is the point where I turn back. I must see to the survivors, and I'm also very concerned about Colony 9.
I understand. Thank you for everything.
I might have said a few things I shouldn't have back in the mine. Forgive me.
No, it's okay.
I owe you my life, young man. I'll never forget it, heir to the Monado. Medic, will you stay with them?
I want to help Shulk. The Mekon must pay for what they did. And I'm sure Gaddo is still alive somewhere. If he is, I have to find him.
Find him for me too. Good luck.
Sharla, I want to go with the Tharon.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I've never seen anything cooler than Shulk smashing Mekon with the Monado. But I'm just slowing you down.
No way, kid. You just need to shape up like me.
It's okay. I've made up my mind. Compared to you guys, I know I'm pretty useless. But that's cool. Because I know what I can do. I'm gonna go back to the colony and help the survivors rebuild their lives.
You'll do us proud, kid. Good luck, Juju.
Thanks.
Shulk, Ryan, keep Sharla safe for me.
Dixon, are you leaving too?
The Mekon may be gone from Colony 6 now, but that doesn't mean we've seen the last of them. When they launch another attack, and they will, Colony 9's gonna need my help.
Yeah. I guess you're really needed at the colony.
This ain't the last you'll see of me. You should be alright for now. Look after the Monado.
You can bet on it. We won't let the colony down.
You'll make us proud, Shulk. You, on the other hand, need to buck up your ideas. How else are you gonna protect Shulk?
Thanks for the heads up, Dixon.
Good luck. See ya. Can't say I feel so good about deceiving these kids.
What's that you say?
Oh, just mumbling. Forget I said anything.
Deceiving them.
Hey.
Juju wants to restore Colony 6 to its former glory. Visit Colony 6. Maybe there's something you can do to help. Go to Colony 6 during breaks in the story.
Wow! Amazing. I never think Hom would come here. There are lots of ancient High Entia ruins around here. You come here to find rare things to sell. Huh? You want to go to top of a bit of Bionis? I tell you how for free. You need to do ancient High Entia coming of age ceremony. You know about it? It tests for High Entia boys to come men in olden days. First, you need find 4 offerings scattered around Satorl.
Oh wait, are those the 4 spots that were on the...
Possibly.
that ledge?
Then, put on adulthood emblem in front of sororal statues. That will open path to top of Bionis. This, the only way. It's dangerous. Be careful.
Okay, so we found 2 of them.
I forgot to say, us Nopal merchants can sell everything you need.
You want to yeah, coming of age ceremony all over again.
I just was
Can we
curious
look
about...
around here for a moment? Just looking at the emblems and such, and oh, yeah. So they do have the wings.
Yep, the wings on their heads.
Mm-hmm. They're pouring water. Yeah, there could be interesting things out here. Ooh, something's in the distance. I wonder what.
It's one of the
emblems.
Yeah.
So in some kind of side path.
Hmm.
Oh, are these rapids? Are you gonna get washed down them? Or is it still slow moving enough that you can walk against the current?
Yeah. I think I might move. I definitely move faster than when I was going.
Oh no, a Vang.
Whoops. Alright, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, I figured that Otheron and Juju would head back.
Yeah. At some point, we can do some stuff in Colony 6. We should probably do it sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to grab some, the next 2 party members.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
They're not too far away, and I don't think we have to worry about timed quests. I guess we could always check.
I want to at least open this door.
Okay, we'll get the next party member, and then we can go take a look at it. Because the next party member is very close.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a gilded chest.
I feel like they
diadem in
upped
there.
the drop rates on things, but I could be wrong.
Ah, white radiant. The altar of fate.
Oh, I see.
And we still haven't defeated Godwin.
Nope. I was thinking we do that around level 32.
Mm-hmm.
Just having that level advantage makes a massive difference. I guess, seeing as we're here, we might as well pick up these side quests.
What do you think of games that scale? I mean, usually it's just to scale down as opposed to scale up.
I like when it's optional. When you can control it. I used to play a lot of The World Ends With You. And the really cool thing about that game for me was you could actually scale your level for extra rewards. So the lower your level that you'd scale down to, the
more difficult the challenges were, but the more reward you would get.
Yeah, the higher rarity and the better resources you get. Which I found that to be just really compelling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like the consensus in chat is that they like being able to plow through old mobs.
I'm mixed. On one hand, I feel like levels in games are often kind of boring, that they don't really provide you much. That it just artificially gates difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, I do enjoy leveling as a means of softening a difficulty curve. That, you know, if you're having a really tough time against, what's-his-face?
You can always grind a little bit more, get to the level you need, and face it later.
Yeah.
Depending on which game it is, if there are multiple zones and you can level almost entirely in one zone, it might be beneficial for you to be able to switch from one zone to another and maintain the same level as the zone itself so that you can gain enough experience points from it. I don't know.
This guy sucks.
But you often talk about power creep of creatures. How you will have a level 2 mouse in an early starting zone, and then you'll have a level 70 mouse in a late zone.
Yeah. I always find that kind of funny more than anything else.
But if you think about it, shouldn't you just say that all mice are level 2, and that whenever you encounter a dragon, yes, that will be 70.
Freaking aggressive Cornelius.
Aggressive Cornelius.
Yeah, just one-shot me.
They have very regal names. Cornelius, Godwin. Now Cornelius makes me think of corn.
Yeah, this guy has like a 3-hit combo.
I could go for cornbread to have with the rest of your chili.
Yeah. Why don't we try making cornbread muffins or something?
Yeah, you want to use more of our muffin tin.
Well, I'm dead again.
Ah. So it looks like so long as you have someone to pick you up, you don't die.
You need meters. So take a look at the top left.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for specifically? Is that bar just Monado power?
Sorry, meter in the top left.
Mm-hmm.
That is my revival gauge.
Oh. Oh, also, one thing I want to bring up. Though I don't know if I should bring it up in the game because it's kind of silly.
Okay.
But I've noticed that you've been putting the mark in the early videos, and it's much too noticeable.
It was not noticeable in certain sections.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Oh, did you die?
Yeah, I was out of meter. So effectively, he was gonna kill Ryan, so I was like, okay, have Ryan. Gosh darn it, I have to kill that guy. Alright. This guy does a lot of physical damage. Go back here. Alternatively, instead of doing small stopgaps, let's not waste time. Let's go to Colony 6.
Oh.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, then.
But yeah, that Cornelius guy just does like a 2,000 damage combo. And I don't have very good aggro control yet, so effectively what would happen is he was going to kill Ryan, so I'm like, okay, we'll save Ryan, just block his attack. And he'd be like, oh, you're gonna block my attack? Well, kill Shulk then! Just wrecks Shulk in one go, and it's like, oh, that didn't feel good. Let's see, while we're here...
Oh, you did acquire a number of objects. Flowers, animals, and the strange...
Yep. I mean, this one's real easy.
The Dober Corgi.
Dober Corgi.
Turtle. Lizard. Now, if it's a pyro lizard, does it emit fire, or is it merely red?
We can take a look at it in a second.
Verdant Eternity. A leaf that never withers.
Yep. Pyro lizard. Turns fiery red if you disturb it.
Oh, that's cute. I like little bits of lore.
Yeah, so, some things left in that cave that I haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ether mine. We're actually doing pretty good on Satorl Marsh.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I don't mind having my mark being kind of obvious. It's
well,
not
I
that
also
big of a
think
deal.
it's weird in the upper left.
There's like nothing in the upper left.
I would have liked it in the right, though. Even if it goes over the map a little bit.
So you're saying no matter what, put it in the right?
No, not necessarily.
Because there's nothing in the left. I'm confused. Okay.
Ooh, bugs.
Oh, this is other. Alright, done with that area. With that business. But yeah, let's go check out Colony 6. Because, admittedly, this is kind of the least interesting part of the game, but also one of the more interesting.
Well, remember, yeah, we always like to discuss when there's an aftermath, we never really take part in rebuilding. And this seems like an opportunity to do so a little bit.
Yeah. It's weird. This is like a strange midpoint between just side quest town and like Ni no Kuni. Because remember the city management Ni no Kuni, and it was like, yeah, this is kind of a cool thing, but it just felt very...
Oh, that sky looks cool.
Empty? Yeah, it does. Just bright stars and blue skies.
You aren't going to talk to the no-bomb?
Oh. It's Daza.
Oh, Garu sent reply for Daza. Thank you, friends. Daza interested in Red Thing. Daza asked Garu to... Garugu, sorry.
Garugu.
Because he's friends with Badu Badu, I was just assuming it was a loop.
To investigate some things, but Garugu not find conclusive evidence, so he's still working. Thank you for helping Daza.
I'm glad everything worked out.
Friends, take this top secret data. Maybe it come in useful.
I want to see the Nopon village.
We'll get there.
Oh, there seem to be a lot of
affinity points.
Yeah.
I think those specifically you unlock based on like obviously friendship time, but also as you've completed the town.
So is this farmland out here? What was over to the left? Looks like it could be farmland.
Yeah, Hope Farm.
Hope Farm.
Hope Farm. Dover corgis.
Yeah. No one's available for that one yet.
Yeah. I'm pretty much assuming... I almost wonder if a lot of these are with Sharla.
Could be. I would assume that something pertaining to 6 would involve her.
We want to rebuild Colony 6 and restore it to its former glory. To do that, we need to move everyone back from the camp. But Raguel Bridge has been taken by a pack of ferocious monsters, so now no one can cross it.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it sounds like a pain. That bridge is the only way to move the refugees back safely. With him stuck on one side and me on the other, we're all stuck. You eliminate the monsters on Raguel Bridge for us. Thank you, I knew you would. Just secure the bridge. Once you've done that, inform Juju at the camp. I'll be waiting here. Begin rebuilding the colony once everyone is returned. I'm counting on you.
No problem, leave it to me.
Yep, let's do our best, guys. If anyone grazes their knee, I'll be there to patch them up.
Thanks, Charlotte. We'll be counting on you. Pretty much whenever there's an infinity symbol, I'm just like, meh.
Meh.
Road home. Oh, well, that's a time.
Can we actually walk into Colony 6 just to see what's going on here?
You mean...
Just a wasteland. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, I don't think I'm allowed to
Oh, you're not allowed
there.
in it at all. Do you need water?
Ish. I don't think they're going to show me where it is. I'm pretty sure it's just Raguel Bridge North. Yeah, I'm actually running out of water.
Oh, I still have a lot.
I've just been specifically, like, super dry lately.
Probably the changing weather.
Humming plum. Oh, gosh. Can you imagine that? A plum that's just making a pleasant hum, and every time you take a bite, it gets, like... It gets, like, higher pitched until you've eaten the whole thing.
Ah!
You're just like, did I just... That's terrifying.
The prospect of eating live food in general is sickening.
Yeah. I have very limited desire to eat.
Supposedly oysters on the half shell are still alive when they're eaten?
Yep.
I think that's gross.
It is pretty gross.
Not to mention that it's actually dangerous to have oysters like that. One, they're raw. And could potentially
I might
have bad
made a terrible
bacteria
mistake.
in them. Wait. Oh, are you gonna get
I think
obliterated by these?
I think I aggroed too many of them. I was like, they're just a bunch of regular mobs.
And
The
then
answer is,
also,
wow.
oysters they have sand in them. They're gritty.
Oh yeah, that would do it.
Oh no, Shulk is back, but can you run?
There we go. All right, so this time around,
I don't know how you can split them up. They're also all the same level as you.
yep.
Maybe you need to get to level 35 to beat them. Oh, but you only aggroed one?
I guess all I needed was a rock. You're going down, bushy tail.
So what were you discussing before?
Town management or rebuilding or I forget. Chat, topic us.
Yeah, sometimes I lose my train of thought.
Dryness?
Oh, the dryness. Yeah.
I mean, it's just weather.
Well, I believe when you have rain, it actually depletes some moisture from the air itself.
It does.
Above you. Well, because it's going into droplet form. Condenses in that way.
Because, yeah, the actual air humidity is pretty low. There we go. Well. Bye, right. They're just bullying poor Ryan. Luckily, the other two are distracted.
I suppose while we're watching you smack down squirrels, I was watching a fun YouTube video of that inventor that often works on the, what was it, the glitter bomb for thieves that steal packages from his doorstep. He had made an obstacle course to make squirrels work for their bird seed and nuts and such. His bird feeders were constantly getting broken into, and he decided to make a fun obstacle course. And I think he was able to identify 4 particular squirrels that they were all eventually able to navigate the course, but it was funny seeing the names that he had given each of them and their various antics. But squirrels are quite acrobatic. I mean, they must be if they live in trees. Not tweez, trees. But it was funny because he had called one squirrel Fat Gus, and because it was about 300 grams heavier than all 3 of the other squirrels. And one day on the camera, he noticed that the squirrel had prominent nipples. He was like, wait, do male squirrels, do they exhibit those? And it turns out that no, it's because it's likely a pregnant female, which makes complete sense as to why she was so much heavier than the other guys.
Not Fat Gus, but Fat Gusette.
And it was interesting. He actually did a video on Beyond Burger and Impossible Burger.
Oh, neat.
So, and he got to cook for Bill Gates.
Wow. Well, I mean, he does have like 12 million subscribers.
Yep, that's true.
Well, when we have 12 million subscribers, we can cook for Bill Gates.
Oh gosh, I don't believe that will ever happen. I think projections show that you might reach 1 million subscribers in 5
Couple years?
years?
Yeah. I'm curious how it'll go. Realistically, if I bothered to actually come up with more like interesting, unique content, it would probably help a lot.
Mm-hmm. Because truly, when it comes to creating Let's Plays, it's really up to if the if viewers like your discussions, but then also if they're fans of you over just fans of the particular game that you're playing.
Yeah.
Because you could have 100 people playing the same video game, but what will make them watch one playthrough versus another?
Oh gosh. It's a second group. We weren't done. These side quests are never ending, and they hurt.
Yeah. I like squirrels. They're cute. They're a little troublesome though at times, especially if you do want to have a bird feeder. It reminds me of an experiment that I had to perform in AP Biology, and I know I've told this one several times, but we were supposed to try to create an experiment that tested animal behavior, and I didn't have a pet at the time. So while other people were doing things with their cats or their dogs or their hamsters or birds and whatnot, I had to figure out a way for me to study animal behavior with just the animals that were available in my backyard. Granted, my parents have a ton of animals in their backyard. Many of them birds, and then there's rabbits, squirrels, and deer. Deer are there in... they like to sleep in my parents' backyard during the day. Kind of weird. Because it's a suburban neighborhood, and we're kind of... there's a forest that's on one side, but it's half a neighborhood away, so it's not as though my parents live next to the forest. There's still quite a number of houses between them and the forest. And then you go lower down some hills and you have schools, and maybe another park is beyond them or something. But I suppose the deer chose a midpoint and they sleep there during the day. My parents had a fawn in their yard and it was so cute. I took a picture of it. But, so I had to figure out an experiment to perform. And there was a park in my hometown. But, I mean, I suppose I should say. There's a park in my hometown where birds will land in your hand if you offer seed to them. They've been, I suppose, trained or conditioned to do so. Generations and generations of chickadees and nuthatches and titmices and such will fly down from the trees and land in your hand if you offer seed to them. But I noticed that when my parents bought the seed mix and we would bring it to the birds on the trail, that the chickadees and many of the birds would choose the black sunflower seeds out of my hand. They wouldn't choose any of the... what are the little round things? Millet? I think it's called millet.
Yeah.
They wouldn't choose the millet or any of the other seeds. They would just choose the black sunflower seeds. And what they would do is they'd fly them up into the trees and crack the shells open to get at their interiors. And I was thinking to myself, that would be a little inconvenient. So I do wonder why they prefer this seed. So for my experiment, I ended up buying 3 bird feeders and packing one of them with black sunflower seeds, one with striped sunflower seeds, which have a thicker shell to them, and then one with shelled seeds. So still sunflower seeds, but they had their husks or their hulls or their shells removed from them. And I made sure that I had like the right weights and measurements. I was going to see at the end of each day, or I think it was each day I was measuring, just how much seed was taken by birds from each of the feeders. And I was hoping to gauge whether or not there were preferences amongst the birds, and the prediction was going to be that they would prefer seeds that didn't have shells on them first, then the thinner shells of the black sunflower seeds, and then the hard shells of the striped sunflower seeds. But it was interesting because the end of my experiment resulted in the black sunflower seed still being the favorite sunflower seed.
You got rid of all the monsters at Raguel Bridge? Now everyone can go back home to Colony 6. Thank you so much. Going back to Colony 6 will solve all the problems we had here. Once we leave, we won't come back here again. Shall we go now? We can wait for you if there's still things you need to do.
We don't have any more quests here, do we?
Yep, got them all done. Okay, we'll move out right away. We'll need some help to rebuild Colony 6 when we get there.
And is the cave just emptied?
Think so?
We'll have to see. Oh, you just
Welcome to
teleported?
Shanty Colony 6.
Yeah, whoa. Well, you've arrived.
Place is still a giant mess.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got a shack now.
Young friends come to see old friend Satata. I want you to do a favor for a dead man.
Could you go into more detail? That's the usual.
My brother Pawn was killed in the Mechon attack,
Oh.
but Satata can't find his keepsake. Satata thinks it's in the room of Theron hidden. Can friends get it? Satata would go himself, but my Nopon feet are failing me. Will friends help an old Nopon?
It's no good if it's locked away in some stuffy old room.
Friends sound like older version of Hom Hom Juju. Friends understand this old Nopon. It's as if memories of my brother Pawn are disappearing.
Oh.
The keepsake is a mushroom cap. It doesn't suit me, before you ask. But Brother Pawn used to wear it all the time. Now, go get it already.
No problem, leave it to me.
And then she's doing the let's do our best guys and everything.
Talk to him. Time to rebuild our colony. Well, we've pretty much lost everything we had. At least this building is intact. We'll use it as our headquarters. It'll be much harder to rebuild everything from scratch, though. So we're going to need your help. How about it? To begin, we'll need materials, collectibles, and money. Just come and see me whenever you're free to help out. Don't worry, Atheron's left me in charge of the reconstruction. Okay, housing increases population, lets you invite more people.
Oh.
Commerce gets more shops. Nature lets you obtain higher ranked crystals from the mine. Special greatly increases the overall completion percentage. Also lets you obtain more collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we can check reconstruction progress in the quest log.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. But where I was going with the... Oh, sorry.
That's fine. No.
Where I was going with the story was that squirrels did attempt to ruin my experiment and actually had downed my bird feeders once in a while, and I would have to start the day's records from scratch. Because I put bafflers on them and everything, but those squirrels were relentless. The bafflers did help an awful lot, though. And then it was just funny seeing them jump from the swing set onto... Because I had the bird feeders hung from the monkey bars of our swing set. And they're jumping down and just sliding off the bafflers.
Do squirrels have different preferences from birds?
They were indiscriminate about whichever bird feeder they could knock down, they would eat from. Let's just put it that way. But I think the birds they have a habit of cracking open shells. So to them, they might still prefer the black sunflower seeds, but they have softer shells, so they would be more preferable than the striped shells. But for some reason, they didn't favor the already shelled seeds. They wanted the experience of cracking them open. And I thought that was interesting. But I suppose humans do find enjoyment in, say, cracking open roasted peanuts.
Yeah, it might also just be one of those that they're not... People are not used to. People are not used to that. The idea of, like... Or birds are not used to the idea of having pre-shucked seeds. that, you know, that is therefore somehow wrong or suspicious, and they don't trust it.
Very possible.
All right, so you got.
Whereas
this guy.
humans would love to have seeds already shelled so that they would just be able to pop them in their mouth as opposed to having to crack everything.
Hello there, youngin'. I got something that might interest you. You ever heard of a mobile furnace? Well, after years of research, it's now possible to shrink furnaces. I reckon I could make you one if I had the right parts. It's a shame because there's just one part I ain't got. Wait a minute. You can get me it. It's called the Ultra Small Reactor. They developed it in Colony 6 to use in ether mining. Finding one could be tough after what happened there, though. I did hear there's some people looking to fix up Colony 6. If that colony can get back on its feet, you might be able to get one there. How about it? Think you can get me an ultra small reactor?
Oh, wow. And look, number of quests.
Yeah, things that we have to turn in. Because we've been lazy about turning this one in, and then the child one.
I don't believe it. There's no question. This is my son's armor, gun, and knife. Saved up so hard to buy them. I remember how he smiled when he changed into his new armor. I've no choice but to accept it. Nothing will bring my son back, but at least some part of him has returned to the place he grew up. For that, I am very grateful.
Glad everything worked out.
On behalf of both my son and myself, thank you very much.
Oh, people are mentioning Adamame now. Yeah, that one's fun too. Usually they salt the exteriors and then you sort of suck the soybeans out. Yum.
Adamame was, I think, the first time where I truly figured out, like, oh yeah, I'm probably not allergic to soy.
Oh. Nareen wants me to do what? Take a look at the two boys. Why did she ask that? Oh, I get it. Check to see how good their friendship is. Hey, it's totally improved. Shulk and Ryan are looking much more like real best friends now. I'm so jealous. I wish me and Nareen were like that. But I guess boys are different. Can girls be best friends like that?
No.
I bet they can't, you know. If you think otherwise, prove it.
Wait, do we have to prove to her that girls can be best friend by having two of our female party members become best friends? Is that what's going to happen?
We have no female. Dunban, put on this dress. Ryan, look pretty. No more side quests in here. Well, I'm gonna go back to Lacus Swamp. We gained A level at the very least. I was hoping we'd have a couple more side quests on our hands. It opens up once we get up to the high Entia area. At least that's how it felt.
What level you're at now?
31?
Okay.
Which isn't terrible, but like...
Will you finally be able to plow your way through some Ignas, or are they still going to put up a fight?
They're going to kick my ass. I'm a little mixed. Because from my experiences, these guys just ruin... those guys ruined me. And it's not fun. I want to check this cave. I'm trying to get all of the collectibles as well.
Mist tree.
And
oh,
also,
maybe that's the name of what the trees are.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. It's also easier... Well, I don't know. I get nice rewards for getting all the collectibles. Even if they're not that great. Never got to chow down on.
What's this one? A lemon stone. Oh.
Admittedly, that's going to go straight to the Collectopedia. Oh. Maybe I already did.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I already did. An animal, vegetable, and a strange. Well, I'll just wander around collecting what I can.
Well, the lemon stone is for the hungry Nopon.
Yep, we gotta get a lot of those.
Or more.
That doesn't sound like the kind of thing that would actually feed the Nopon, though. It's like, suck on this stone.
Well, unless it's like a lemon pit, the pit of it. I know that sometimes peach pits are called stones, but you don't really hear it unless it's in Europe. Right? Don't they call them stones, the pits?
I think so.
But typically with peaches and such, and cherries and whatnot, the pits have deadly amounts of cyanide inside them.
Yeah.
So you probably...
Unless, of course, Nopon just don't give a dang. And they're like, cyanide poison means nothing to us. We're too buttery.
I mean, I don't know how much someone would have to ingest for it to be fatal to them, but I know that some people suspected that in the case of... which president was the one that died after having milk and cherries? It wasn't Taft, was it? Did Taft die that way?
I think Taft was
it
too
Harrison?
huge.
I know that one of them, yeah, they didn't. He had a terrible stomachache after the fact, and they wondered if maybe something had cracked and poisoned him. But when this occurred, it was probably still in the early 1800s, so they wouldn't have known. Ah!
Let's see. Hey, fancy it. We're around here. Fortunately, we have to get a lot of these lemon stones if we want to complete that quest.
Mm-hmm.
Asha's bell tied.
One thing I haven't had in a long time that I desperately want is cherry pie.
Well, I mean, if we wanted to, we could probably order a bunch of frozen cherries.
Aren't you supposed to get the cherry filling? Like, isn't it a special cherry mixture? Usually it's
We could absolutely
between
make our own.
maraschino, but not quite maraschino. It's a kind of canned cherry.
I firmly believe that if we wanted to make a cherry pie, we could.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I should make that peach crumble.
Oh yeah, you have all those peaches.
Luckily they're canned, so it's not so bad.
Mm-hmm. Sugar-soaked tart red cherries. This is within the cherry pie. Yeah, the tartness makes sense.
Yeah, because you're already adding enough sugar as it is.
Mm-hmm. It gives them that slightly sour taste. Cherries were by far my favorite fruit and also fruit flavor when I was a kid.
It always surprises me
that was also
when I buy cherries and you just don't even touch them.
I think it's because the fact that I'm so concerned about getting cherry juice on me. Because with the fresh cherries, they're not pitted. So I would have to eat around them and then dig the pit out with my teeth and then eat the other half, if you know what I mean. And also, for some reason, I don't like my cherries cold. I need them to be warmed up first. And because we always put them, well, not like warmed up as in microwave warmed up, I mean just they have to be room temperature. I think it also has to do with the act of biting into them. And I would rather that they be room temperature than cold when I do so. It's just my personal preference. When it comes to fruit that I can definitely just chow down on, grapes are number one. My family always had green grapes or red grapes on hand.
So did my family, but I kind of lost the taste for them after a while.
I find that some of them can taste bad, and I don't know if it's the fertilizer or the residue or whatever is on the outside. You know that waxiness, that film that has a kind of matte white sheen to them? You have to wash them really well to make it go away. We got on the topic of fruit because of the lemon stone.
Yep.
Oh, so you're able to find quite a few crystals in the formation. Oh, another lemon stone.
Yep. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long. I don't like... I was kind of hoping to do this sort of thing separately. This might be a... I don't know. Editing this series is going to be funky. But I don't need to worry about it too much. I mean, I'm assuming
it's
people...
unfortunate that you've played so much of it because we can't really discuss plot points.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost will never do a series on a game that I've already played. Because it's just not going to go well, and I know that. But this was just too much of an exception. It had to be.
Oh, is this another lemon stone out on this stump?
I don't know what the heck this is.
Another
Yep,
lemon stone.
But yeah, especially for a plot-focused game, it's kind of rough, because it's just like, well... oh, he's over there.
But is it so much plot focused as it is combat focused? But the combat doesn't seem to be... I mean, there are a lot of combos, yes, and a lot of synergies that you have to
Once
utilize.
I get more characters and more options, it'll open up a little bit. The one mild tragedy is there's actually a really good combo in this game where you do break and then topple and then daze. And that's a good way of like locking out an enemy for a couple of seconds. Let's see. I'm gonna very quickly check to see if I have anything better. Yep, that's just straight up better.
Oh.
What?
So, because we were on the topic of cherries, I was thinking of the cherry liqueur, the chocolates that we had in Croatia. And they came in beautiful tins. We still have the tins to this day. And we actually did find that the same brand was being sold at the Asian grocery store back in Kansas, no less. Then they stopped stocking them.
Yep.
By the end of our time living in the area. And then we've moved here and I haven't seen them since.
You haven't exactly gone looking.
No, we haven't. Yeah, fruit and chocolate. It's a good mixture in some occasions. I do like chocolate-covered strawberries as well. It'd be fun to have a bunch of strawberries. Like to have a berry garden in the future.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a berry garden. Berries and herbs. I was always fond of the little cherry tomato bush that my grandmother had. And as a child, I would expectantly look out the window just to see if I could glimpse a red one. Because she would allow us to go outside and pick the ones that were right. And your parents liked collecting the raspberries from that hill.
Yeah, they do.
By the school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But didn't the people who owned the property or like the school chop them all down?
Sometimes.
But did they grow back?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose all around here we have marionberries.
Yep.
Growing along the side of the road. They don't taste quite as good as mulberries, though. And back in Kansas, there were those mulberry trees. But then we found out that
they were
bugs
infested with bugs.
Well,
and it
bugs
was like,
were
well, this isn't... That's
laying
not
their
as great.
larvae on them.
I would love to go pick up some berries.
There
when
are
they're in
tons of
season.
berry farms around here, but no, with everything that's going on.
At the same time, I'm sure you could, like, order them somehow.